Hello everybody, I'm King of Death, and today I'm playing some more Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. And today we're going to be doing the trial that hurts me the most. Trial 5. Okay, it's time to do the voices that I have been doing for 2 days. I can't wait to see how I mess them up. I finally realized, after losing my powers, I realized that cursing your powerlessness on your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's possibility, you must face it. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself, I'm always proud of myself, so I will fight. Huh? What's her deal? I do not really know, but she seems different from before. she's read self-help book.
Wait!
Yes, she looks like
You...
How can you tell just by looking at those stupid eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off the monitor. It's the annoying if she starts talking during this trial.
But still...
Somehow, I understand what Monabi is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial.
Yep.
You're right, we need to fight as much as we can. No matter what hopeless truth awaits us in the end. The truth really is hopeless. And then Monica escalated and appeared out of nowhere. Monica, Monokuma, this is the end. I keep saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered Monokuma to find Monokuma rock, even though he could call Monokuma.
Yeah.
So this elevator ride, this will be the last time for this too, right?
Well? You are right.
Let's focus on the class trial before us. Why will it end?
Damn it.
Kill a man that kills him like Nagito. There's no way this is going to be I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Kill that. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. After I finally realized shit, maybe we shouldn't have been mean to Nagito. In fact, during the funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. Even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand and fight. We must fight. Like a Super Saiyan if we have to. And then the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair?
Well now!
I love your decorating, my gamer. Well then, now that the Chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Enough, just flipping start this already.
Hey!
Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right?
Yep.
Yep, it sure is. So you're gonna show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
Alright!
He said it. This is the end.
Now then!
Now then, let's get this trial started.
Viva killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other. This is the 5th class trial. According to my camera, this is also the last class trial. The curtain is about to rise. And Nagito, it hurts me every time. Nagito Komedo, the ultimate lucky, he was not lucky at all if he died. The ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable, but his true nature held much held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. Said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that could overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. I'm very sure hope always prevails in the end. It's Danganronpa. But there were also times he saved us too. Sometimes, like, someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but there's no way we can end this without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagitech. The killer who murdered Nagitech. The killer who killed the great character. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Martin would say this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And it says, this is the life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair, the last has begun. Of course I gotta save my perk. Of course I have to save my perk. Is it Danganronpa? Okay, so much. Okay, I have all my skills.
Now then, let's speak during the class trial. If you vote correct, I'll punish every... Oh my! Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you?
Yeah, what has happened to Monami?
You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Yes, though! One more time!
Marikuma, you are the best. You punched the stupid characters in the face.
Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow!
You're the stupid.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
Sonia, you have got the wrong thing. You have to feel bad for all of us having to put up with Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monomi. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito. Are they the same person?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Why did the killer have to torch an expert? No, where the wounds on Nagito's body really caused for torture in the first place?
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, I like that.
The killer didn't take... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer...
So that's why... What were they trying to find out? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth. I'm telling you, they were torturing...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer...
So that's why... What were they trying to find? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
If so, is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer...
So that's why... What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's hiding... If so, is whoever found...
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer...
So that's why... What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's...
If so, is whoever found the bomb first!
Damn it!
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you. They were torturing him.
I said my thing was about these pounds and you on there, but fuck, what's this thing? Something from it, how the kids already holding from the back. That's it, you can remove all lines of the bombs before state, however, he apparently doesn't feel that back then.
The reason Nagito's body was...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he... What were they trying to find? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
If so, is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body...
Taste itself has a lot of sprinkles in it, as if Nagito was desperately moving his mouth underneath it. Picked over my two panels were scattered around the ground, and in one area the panels were seeming to be laid on top of each other and just straight
Body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's
It's because the killer...
So that's why. What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's... If so, is whoever found the bomb first.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
It looks like this is...
If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
Get on him.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body was covered...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't tape... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer...
So that's why... What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's... If so, is whoever found the bomb first.
I think there's other questions I could ask. Yeah, but no, there's always only fucking one person answer, apparently.
We will never give up.
Thinking of it. Why is it every time I fail, everyone blames me? How can I just do this? Yeah, I got it.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
The killer didn't tape... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't tape... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer...
So that's why... What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's... If so, is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No. I believe that Nagito's body really qualified for torture in the first place. That's what I'm thinking. Like, how am I supposed to prove it?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up? What were they trying to find out? Definitely the bum's hiding place. If so, is whoever found...
That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence.
Doesn't seem like anything to help Fuyuhiko.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bum's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be believing it.
The killer didn't take Nagito's... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up? What were they trying to find out? Definitely the bum's hiding place.
The killer didn't tape Nagito. I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured...
So that's why he... What were they trying to find? Definitely the bum's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bum's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence.
What's that thing? Hey.
Damn it!
This is annoying me. Don't flipping get it. It's not a statement to see it.
The kill...
None of it. I really don't understand. I don't get how anything else is just
Or didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's
It's because the killer
So that's why he was... What were they trying to... Definitely the bum's... If so, this is whoever found...
That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence.
I don't think of anything that could put things that
The killer didn't
take
take...
not thought to take looking on it. You looking at it, because obviously not that fucking well. This is still a fucking hour and a half of me getting shit around.
Take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were
The reason Nagito's
It's because the killer...
So that's why. What were they trying to... Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
Damn it! The killer...
Just thinking out why. I don't...
Or didn't...
Always part of elements is working with working contradiction to it.
Take Nagito's mouth to shut... I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's...
It's because the killer tortured...
So that's why. What were they trying to find? Definitely the bomb's hiding. If so, is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagi. I'm telling you, they were...
The reason Nagito's body was cut...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito. Crap! The killer did...
Okay, yeah. Fucking figure it out and not want to fucking go out the way of Nagito.
didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured
No, that's wrong.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
Yes, that is true. But why? I'm very sure I tried that before.
I'm prepared. I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Stupid. Okay.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down.
Pay attention. This is how it's first. The killer tortured Nagito and got information. Then, after they killed him...
Damn it!
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped, you obviously assumed he couldn't talk, but that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it first. The killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
Crap!
Pay attention. This is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
I'm just doing an idea about this.
Pay attention. This is how it... First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb. Then, after they killed him...
Allow me to cut through those words.
How do you know that they did?
No. There's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
I don't know. Are you in elementary school or something? I probably am.
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Man, why did you just use your hand?
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
Plus, Nagito, no one ever is nice to Nagito. It annoys me.
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
He doesn't get that.
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that?
I feel like Nagito did it. I don't know why.
When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
We all tried. I failed.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
Reason for the fire. Huh. You're right, we need to clear that up first.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused...
I agree with that.
I didn't like it again.
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan!
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels.
Very clever killer.
So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Oh yeah, was it yeah, I think it was the 23 player. Killer did one thing to hide the domino effect. And the ep23 player?
I see!
I got it right.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Inside the warehouse felt even darker, because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within the darkness of the our time red throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? It's really damn loud. Cause now you're like listening to this depressive crap. No, I'm not talking about the music. As if I'm here, it's stuff. Great, it's fine.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling. But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine, I'll fix one thing. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. If there's work, I can't even brush off everyone's warning to slowly open the door to the warehouse. Yes, okay. If there's something blocking the door, I can see how to open it. I knew it. Yeah, seriously, just step it on it. Didn't I tell you? It'll be fine, I'll show you the one. I'll put opening it slowly. Can't ignore their protest, then with a mighty kick, the door flew away.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel. And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
That door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see, so the problem you have to talk about is...
I see! If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Nagito.
You don't mean...
Nagito. Well, if that's true,
Hajime? What do you mean?
Just say Nagito. Person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse, Nagito. There's only one person who could have done that, Nagito.
This is my answer!
That's like holding us to the end.
What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
Yeah, and the victim can also be the murderer.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss?
Yes.
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like I said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but it feels like I'm overlooking something. I think Nagito was talking about it always being impossible. Make the argument.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Well, some things that Nagito committed suicide is correct. Okay, should have tied himself up to right?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the... It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Something got
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free... It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your...
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. No, that's wrong!
I think I was correct with the image then, but I just could not think.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
First up, I prefer to wear my favorite army.
I see!
Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want. Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Yeah, that's definitely great, isn't it?
That's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know.
He could have just headbutted the knife.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
Ah, that much is obvious.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
How many did you try to show to me? Now she wants them. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
I want to just stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for it. Most times I want to do something before I died. What other thing do you use that right hand for?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his...
if he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what? If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Yeah, because he use his right hand to stop himself in the palm, then how does he do that?
Even if Nagito's right hand... How could he stab his...
If he threw the knife and let the knife, could he stab his hand? Is he a throwing knife? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
I think Snippet's funny, insane stuff.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
I like how every other fucking like only that first question bothered me because it made no sense.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
Would that be a bad thing?
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem.
He used the duct tape to stop himself from screaming as he sent us out.
The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
You could have tied it up.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible?
It doesn't even say what killed him.
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time. I need you recorded. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand, while your left hand is tied up.
I like this game. I like how this game goes sometimes. Like, they realize that you're not gonna have fun at some point, so they just add in jokes.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
No, he probably did that to himself. I bet someone else killed him. There's an ultimate recommended to kill him. He did blow the damage to himself, and then the traitor it is super easy to kill him.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
I just want to see this plan play out because I know it's gonna fail.
Monome's sassing me!
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far, so this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
I don't think they're gonna do a Danganronpa 1.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
Why should the killer die?
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone.
I believe in all the characters who I actually find interesting.
No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I hear the mechanized one that has to be the human world, like mechanized.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
Well, I think I could figure out how he could have stabbed himself with that spear, but no one ever brings it up.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
Exactly. Made there's several deals. All deals up till now by doing that. And even now.
Alright, let's do this.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail. I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
He must have used that thing, hadn't he? He must have armed and legs were tied up, but no doubt he used some parts of that. Anything you can use with...
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail. I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
Thank you.
How did Nagito stab it? Let's work together.
When the spear stabbed his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left...
But his left hand was also tied.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Crap!
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife.
Look at the blood on the palm's neck of your hand. For some reason, the splatter cut off in the middle of it. On over the back of his left hand is the only natural blood stain that only above the middle joint of his fingers.
Right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong! Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain. But it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
I'm thinking now, like, these pictures of every single piece of evidence. If they do, like, do they still mar his hand?
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
What was nice, the first time doing it was blood.
I see! When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Nah, I think he did that before he stabbed himself.
Here's the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild.
Thinking now. Yeah, every other part of his body got something stabbed except the hand. Except for his left hand. Thinking now. Why do we look at a kind of like a front tail?
He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right, that's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle, just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear. I think.
That makes me more concerned about how it could be wrong.
However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
If the spear was broken.
I see! That's it! Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
If it was going to be solved that easily, then I'd be out of content. Nagito is gripping the cord, extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan, Ning.
One step at a time? What does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned?
Nagito was facing up and the spear was started to but if it just oh man, what if it was positioned wrong and it ended up somewhere else? That face would mean a lot more. That's it, because the state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord like that. If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure out where the spear was and what state it was in before it started at Nagito. Why was the spirit just before it was besides spirit, what else do you guys know say? I hate those so flipping much. What item? Let's see, I'm seeing that. This one.
It's all coming together!
Yep.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support. He hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
That'd be a boring case if not that's what happened. Someone obviously killed him.
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy! Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. The goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
He's starting to feel a little suspicious towards it. I completely underestimated the capability from Alan. Capacity. Mindful of doing small seconds of sleeping after he's dead. That's just one Alan. I'd forgotten all about it. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at us.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Right, I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about, but I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is?
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You're right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
It's something that even he can have.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death, a piece of evidence that even he can mess with.
Crap!
Choice of poison. forget. Something related to Nagito's death. His evidence that even he couldn't mess with. Can't we just end this class trial with the flipping say Nagito? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of any other evidence other than the poison or this. So he didn't mess with.
Crap!
I don't know.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
I got what about that. They talked about how it never said there was no poison used or something.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
If they're going to say that, then why don't they just use the flipping poison which was in his kite? First one guy checking it discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there spear stab this done, but there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right arm. The suspect part of my confile, the Chelsea's was that is. Why is it? What happened? What? Hidden in my confile. Mate, they gotta show us out. Gambit. Look at it. How many Gambit always fucking gets me at some point in one of these games? Why did they have to make Hammer's Gambit more shit to deal with?
We will never give up!
I'm trying to think that plan is just to annoy me. Or just annoy the fan base in general by sort of making Hammer's Gambit more annoying every game. Okay, so it's called death. Looking at for the death, but just looking, I hate it.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
A hangman's gun is a foot of people dead. And still suffering stomach, there are multiple sufferings on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Never said.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not?
Never said there was no poison used either, so it's probably poison.
The sphere in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
I'm thinking, like, what is the one in the door?
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma?
I plead the fifth! There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place!
We just suspected it.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
Yeah, that is kind of There's no way that Nagito just let it
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
You are right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying.
I know, I really just wanted to do class suicide so then I wouldn't have to lose any characters.
But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Who knows then, it could be Kazuichi. If it's Kazuichi, I won't flip the cat.
Hey, Monokuma! You heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
Oh yeah, I'm Kane, I don't really care about
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now.
Kill Monument.
That's right.
Okay. If all your hopes were united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, I just said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair, he said he was young and correct. Then this situation we're in might have been a thing that Nagito wanted all along. He wanted to be a piece of shit and kill and die. Just die out of nowhere and break our hearts. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. I guess it's suspended.
Oh no!
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the very time was going to start. But, well, if you think about it, rationally, there's no way it was going to happen. We haven't done this bit yet. rest of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Manami? Hey, how much longer are you playing the sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you pass. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, Manami and I are besties, just a best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough, why do I have to be hated that much? Besides, it's the fact that you snap at me like that. I don't trust you at all. No, I'm a teensy 1 millimeter bit. How sad. Distrusting your friends is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. How? Okay. I don't question myself anymore. I have to learn that. We aren't even friends in the first place. As your older brother, let me say that you're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demand for that. I totally took the mandate. Oh god, I'm just not bothered to look at the names anymore because my brain is flipping quiet for like 90% of this. I've got to do this whole trial.
I'm Manami.
No one cares my name.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities? Huh.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like it's possible that we overlooked something.
What if all that damage to him wasn't actually what killed him? Could be something else. Could push him to death's door, but he couldn't knock yet. Look.
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly. We should cooperate at a time like this.
Fatal wound that wasn't a spear. We don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, you need to find out what it is, no matter what. Has Hajime just forgotten the one thing that's in Nagito's house? I'm just thinking, I'm very sure I have that at the fucking front of my mind.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
Yeah,
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
Nope.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
If it's something that can't be seen, maybe he choked himself with a sleeper hold. Or liquefied his guts with a body blow.
Just thinking about it, that's already a horrible death.
Okay, the real cause of Nagito's death is that I don't think I overlook. I'm just
Let us
thinking.
consider a different...
It's not the knife in his... It's not the other wound. With all those wounds, maybe he simply...
There's no way he...
Was the cause of death something that cannot be...
I agree with that.
I agree. I have to agree.
it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Poison? It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
Because they never said on Monokuma file no poison used.
I remember. When I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange.
Ah, really?
Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
I know, but really, who has a fridge on this island?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing.
Guys, this is the real thing here. Why does he have a fridge?
I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
21 to 5 and 8.
If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
You probably 21, 5 and 8.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
But, even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
Nagito's doing the same piece of shit.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
Why do we never bring up the important stuff about the different items immediately now? We just have to say, yeah, it was this item here, it was poison, like, whatever, it's like, oh yeah, and on the poison it said this and that and everything, just like avoid the stupid questions.
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible.
No.
Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear.
But you got 2 minutes to spear. But, like, if it was the spear, then this case would be like 10 minutes long.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him.
It's just 20 minutes left spent on that one question, but I'm an idiot.
Operation Elimination Method. The hints should be written on the poison's warning label.
The way the poison enters Nagito's body, the outside is written on the warning label. I have to be careful if I can remember it. Now once I've done that, I did say something like smoke, but I gotta do my favourite minigame. I like this one much better than Hangman's Gambit. This is weird, because in the first game I like Hangman's Gambit so much better than everything else. What state was the poison when it put the Nagito gas? Darn it. Press the button. How did the poison enter Nagito's body? Through his nose. Maybe his wounds. Oh man, if it's his wounds, I'm failing this. Only 2 questions. Where is that?
It's all coming together! What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
Yes, I have to bring this up now. Like after like 5 minutes of talking about poison. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
Even we didn't breathe in poisonous gas. I should be able to explain that this weekend. Nope, the fire.
Crap!
I get him out.
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
Yeah, we just bring this up randomly now, don't we? It's a gaseous state is heavier than air, breaks down in minutes, and it is susceptible to hydrolysis, blah blah blah. So it is possible for you to poison yourself to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis!
That's what I said.
The chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning. The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
But how did he prepare it?
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right. All the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
But how did the poison get to him?
Well, but...
What? There's still more?
Yes. I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill every last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Nagito's motive. Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't be.
There might have been an accomplice.
Wow.
Chiaki, what did you just say?
Having an accomplice. Could you guys not hear?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
That's the really good poison to the warehouse, and the thing that is being left behind is the container.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah, like Monokuma wouldn't have moved that to the decalcium.
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
Are we never going to bring up this label in like the fullness ever? We're just always going to bring up a tiny little bit after we do stuff. Keep this liquid for jar by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container anywhere away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible. I mean, an accomplice? It is just too...
Like, does that really matter all that much? I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
Unless the accomplice killed him.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right! You're totally right! That's totally it!
I just know and suspect the fire grenade.
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore. Or by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I want to just rule this Nagito suicide. If I do that, nobody here has to get hurt.
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh?
I mean, that'd be the greatest plot in existence. I wouldn't care how it happened. I wouldn't care how impossible that would be. It'd still be cool.
The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga. Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is? Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
Maybe it was a fire grenade. What? It's this feeling just now. Even though it was brief, it was like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. Maybe what Tommy said just now might be a new clue. Yeah, I might be able to reach the answer. Right now, they brought the poison, which means the thing he used as a container was a fire grenade. Yeah, please, oh no, not handgun cabinet, I don't like that, no. No. understand it so much.
I see. I got it.
Huh?
The fire grenades. Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
That bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Ah, no, that equals one of us killed him.
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible. Miss Sonia just said so right now.
How do I just shut your gums to let the face up?
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
Those words contain a clue that contain a clue that the contents of a fire grenade were swapped by the what the poison.
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide! Enough already!
Unless he left a fire grenade and one of us threw it.
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
I keep pushing those words into my face. That just makes me disbelieve everything more.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
Oh man.
What did you say?
I don't want it to be true.
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
Please don't make it true.
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Seriously, don't.
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
Oh man, I've already figured it out.
No, it's not.
Jackie?
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Yeah, I realized it 5 minutes ago.
Realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison.
He left the grenade and one of us threw it and killed him.
So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
Definitely comes up with around noon, and that's when we first, and that's when we broke into the warehouse and started throwing the fire grenades.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
No, the fire grenades were raw and when Nagito breathed into the poison was the same. The same moment when the CFL, when
I see! Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, that equals one of us killed him by mistake.
When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
How do we figure this out?
Hold on a sec. The Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
No. It could be anyone now. If it is a big dick now, I'm the protagonist, it's obviously not very Nate. So why by every other person?
What the heck?
There's that one person I don't want to perish in this game, I don't mind that it's
You said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
You never said that, we just said there was a possibility.
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Well, doesn't know, just that's Monokuma.
Do you know?
Monokuma just knows all. Monokuma's like a flipping actual living breathing. It's basically a fucking shooting down.
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
The person who prepared the poison grenade.
I see!
Nagito prepared it. I wanted to see it.
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poison grenade?
Nagito.
I see!
Nagito, why are you doing
That
this?
was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
Who's next?
I see! Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh? Could it be... Was that Nagito's trap?
It's gonna be the treasure, isn't it? Great, Nagito's...
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
What? What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him?
To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him. The poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point. All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison. And then...
Hold on! If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
That spear would have to fall for 3 seconds.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go of the spear.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one who made him breathe the poison!
Are you fucking serious?
He is flipping serious, but I don't like it, because then I think it might be one of the it might have been one of the characters.
That was his trap all along.
Actually started to enjoy the present time.
Even the wounds all over his body. It was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened. His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us that there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out. After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved in the end. However, he also prepared a mystery that couldn't be solved.
Every mystery.
As you solve mysteries and bolster your hope, a huge mystery comes along and slaps you in your faces.
I don't know if they made it so. Well, we just had to pick like 90% out there.
For those of you who believe there are no unsolvable mysteries, that is when you finally taste despair. Meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdicts to prepare this trick. Not all mysteries can be solved. Such a devious trick he played on you, as expected of Nagito.
That's totally messed up.
It is my fault, because I told you all about the fire grenades. I am so sorry. Please vote me as a killer.
That's not the fucking issue here!
We have to figure out who actually killed him, or we're all gonna die.
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
He didn't make himself do. He didn't make him do anything.
But what should we do? How can we even figure out who the killer is?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we couldn't make a decision. That's why we're at an impasse.
However, Monokuma also does not know who the killer is, right?
This isn't Monokuma, he's like a fucking all-things god.
That's right! There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance cameras!
His surveillance cameras obviously from his slow motion.
Monokuma doesn't know! His trial doesn't count! Isn't that right?
You know, I don't actually need stuff like cheap-ass surveillance cameras or whatever. I know perfectly well what's happening on this island at all times. I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia, and one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop! I will never become queen!
How can you? You're so shy. I mean, how can you have such an awful power?
So, of course this trial still counts. Do your very best to guess who the killer is.
Guess, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we can do?
No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probably... There's one way, I think.
Oh, no.
Really? Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning?
Maybe go over the crime again. We'll make
I want to make sure my hunch is correct. Hajime, please.
That's right, it doesn't mean the trial's over yet. If I don't know who's killed Nagito, it should be clear what kind of trap it's at. I have to just look at really from there.
I got it. Let's do this then.
I'm ready to close an argument more in this game than in the last one. In this game, they literally can't just accept that. Let's just drop it now. We can move on to the into that layer. Guys are staying inside my district. What made it clear school? I ain't sitting circle as this here and just hoping. I'll grab the... I find that the most great part that was missing his firelight was
Here's everything that happened in this case. The person who actually arranged this incident was the victim, Nagito Komaeda. He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his plan. Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon. Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base, Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory, and put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room. The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere. While we were looking for the bomb, that's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse. In order to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi Castle from the ceiling girder by its cord. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand. In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free, while his remaining arm and legs were tied up. As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did something no one could have predicted. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream, he stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs. Finally, he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade. He didn't just want us to think he was tied up. He also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear. His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin. Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found Nagito's message. After seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan. We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect. The panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter, tipped it over, and ignited the curtain. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades. We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire supply. It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poison grenade that Nagito had prepared.
I know, here's the idea. He was very smart to figure this out. Like, aliens is possible.
The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat, and spread everywhere. The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where Nagito was. Also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness. Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear plunged into his stomach. This is all the information related to Nagito's plan. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. That was Nagito's trap. In conclusion, the fact that we can't determine the killer's identity this should be the truth behind Nagito's trap.
How about it, Chiaki? Will that help you figure out who the killer is?
Chiaki?
Just as I thought. It's impossible, isn't it?
You say we just have to vote for someone?
I'm waiting to find out who the culprit is.
What Hajime said is probably true. That's part of the reason why I thought it was a little strange. Did Nagito really not care who the killer was? He said this to us earlier.
I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm pretty sure I think will work out again. After all, there's no way hope can lose. Absolute hope can break through any despair. Can never lose in a place like this. And not only that, I believe in you all. I believe in the time we spent together. Man, you guys are the symbols of hope that this world needs.
That feeling of belief is at the heart of his trick. He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. He believed we'd try to extinguish the flames. And he believed we'd fall into his trap.
Nagito, he always believes everything he does.
By believing in us, Nagito was able to put his life-threatening plan into effect.
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito believed in from the bottom of his heart. I want you to try to remember what that is.
What did Nagito believe in?
I see! Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
Nagito, he believes in all the talent. After all the time we've spent together, I believe in you guys. And more than anything, I believe in my ultimate right. So it's definitely going to be alright.
Guess the last thing he could believe in was his own talent.
That's not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith in it.
You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the final dead room at the funhouse.
It wasn't life-threatening at all. It just had a little escape game that ended with some Russian roulette. Russian roulette? It's a game where you load one bullet in a gun, spin the cylinder, point it towards your head and pull the trigger. It's a very, very dangerous game. How the hell does Nagito alive? So really shit. So that's how you're supposed to play it. Would have been fine if I'd only used one bullet. Guess it was just as minor mistake. I must have understood before that I had to take one bullet out of the cylinder, so that's how I did it. But what? So you only had a 1 in 6 chance of surviving? But I'm still alive after all. The only good thing about me is how lucky I am. And he did the same thing when the first killing happened at the old building in the hotel. He depended on his luck and was able to get a clue injured just as he wanted. That's alright. I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked by picked for cleaning duty. You just relied on your luck. I forgot the translation. It's not just luck, it's true my talent is trash, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know. I'm left with the red mark. Ha! But someone called the ultimate lucky student, you don't seem very lucky right now. At the time, Hajime said I was unlucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky, that's why I got picked for cleaning duty just like I wanted.
But his luck doesn't have anything to do with the case this time, right?
I just thought it was strange that it doesn't connect to anything.
Yeah, I have to say this. Luck does connect because his quest was to get the traitor, so he probably believed in his luck that the traitor was trying to be made.
He factored in his belief in us, but for some reason he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way. I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about.
What did he do?
No, he wasn't just after anybody. He probably had a target. A target he was aiming for all along. A person to set up as the killer.
A target? Who?
The target's true identity. Even Nagito didn't know it. That's why he relied on being the ultimate lucky student, and incorporated that luck into his plan. As long as he had his luck, he believed the target he was after would pick up the fire grenade.
You mean he left his plan to luck?
Yes, it's Nagito. You leave everything up to luck. Like, literally, I'm surprised he was lucky enough to survive this long without someone killing him in his fight.
He risked his life for that?
He probably risked his life just so his ultimate luck could decide this.
Who is it? Who's the target Nagito was after?
This person he was after when he threatened us with the fireworks. I don't even know what...
I see!
There you go.
That's it. The traitor. Nagito was after the traitor, huh?
Then he relied on his luck to weed out the traitor?
Nagito didn't...
Said in his video message.
I won't work with just any student handbook. If you want to design that bomb, you have to use the traitor student handbook. Of course. To be honest, I found out who the traitor was after, secretly monitoring everyone's activity. But I was a little annoyed that they never came forward.
So he was just bluffing.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
That's just as Nagito said at the beginning. His purpose was to weed out the traitor. If we just believed in what Nagito said, we wouldn't reach the answers that would have reached the answer much quicker. The reason this took so damn long was it really because we didn't believe
But if he
in it?
just wanted to out the traitor, he didn't have to go this far and make that person the killer.
But he wanted to get rid of the traitor. He knew the traitor wouldn't turn themselves in. Nagito.
Damn it! We're all in a huge bind because of that.
Why is it Nagito think so far ahead?
It means he wants us to beat the traitor.
By finding out who the traitor is, our hopes will shine even brighter by overcoming that despair. That's something he'd say.
Mon ami, it looks like you've got something you want to say. But you better just keep your mouth shut.
And that concludes my argument. Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill him. What are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna believe me?
He relied on his luck to aim for a target, but didn't even know who he was aiming for? It sounds way too unbelievable to have actually happened, but it's Nagito
The only thing we
about.
can do is believe.
It's Nagito we're talking about.
If we don't, then we'd just be relying on our luck when we cast our votes.
But even if we do believe, what should we do? I mean, if we don't know who the target is, there's no way we can even vote.
You are absolutely right. It is hard to think the traitor would reveal themselves now.
If, by chance, the traitor revealed themselves during that bomb scare, what would have happened? Would it have stopped Nagito from acting so reckless?
Huh?
But they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it.
Why are you saying Chiaki?
Because they weren't created to do that.
What do you mean they weren't created to do that?
Chiaki?
What's wrong, Chiaki? Get a hold of yourself!
That's why I want you guys to guess.
You want us to guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
What? What does that mean?
That made me think what I think.
Who do you think it is, Hajime?
Don't want it.
Who do you think the future Foundation sent to infiltrate your group as the traitor?
Well, not you. I think it was Catherine.
Why?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're different from everyone else.
Why?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence. They can only exist as a traitor.
Hajime's reaction to all those questions is basically me knowing, me trying to figure out a way to not blame the traitor.
Seriously, why?
Really, that's just me. Seriously, why do I have to blame this person of all people?
Who do you think is the traitor?
Kazuichi. Akane? Son.
Hajime, please.
Ah, fine. I want to Kazuichi so badly. No, I don't want to. No. Please, just beat anyone else. I'm sad.
It's...
sad.
You? Chiaki, you're the traitor?
Please! Hold on!
Mind me, your reactor's just making it more harder. Not... I can't.
Aw, you totally guessed right.
What?
Just as expected. Yep, you're correct.
Just...
I'm the traitor.
Oh no, I'm so happy I'm not watching the anime because I would actually be flipping souls of despair at this moment.
The agent sent by the Future Foundation to hide among you all is me.
That would end my life. Damn it. Why do they have to be the one person who had to make good actually did it? Why? This is, I mean, this nonsense is, why? Why does this make sense?
Hey, Chiaki, are you being serious right now?
Chiaki is the traitor? That is a lie, right? Surely you must be joking.
Please be joking.
I'm sorry. It's the truth.
Is it the truth that you are lying, or is it the truth that you're the traitor? I hope it's lying.
Hey, what are you saying sorry for?
What does this mean?
We were not tricked.
I can't do this.
After all, we have been working together all this time. We have been helping each other all this time. Chiaki, being a traitor, being a member of that horrifying Future Foundation.
Please don't let this happen to me. Why? Why?
That is obviously a lie.
No.
Please, wait! The Future Foundation isn't what you think it is!
I'm backseat buying for other ones for it. I'm still on the other. Hey, you're having a bad time right now. Well, I don't care.
Shut the fuck up! We're talking to Chiaki!
He's just, forward of that. That's all.
No, I have nothing more to say.
Why?
Because we already know the killer's true identity. So the only thing left to do is vote.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Hold on! We're not satisfied yet!
I'm not satisfied with it until there's happening.
If you say you are the traitor, please provide an explanation that will help us understand. We cannot vote until we are satisfied. That is what you said earlier, Chiaki.
Hey, if you're really the traitor, why'd you wait till now to reveal yourself?
It's weird, isn't it? Waiting until right now to out yourself.
It's definitely strange, right? Or rather, why was I able to do that?
You wrote well incorrectly.
Maybe I wanted to protect everyone, no matter the cost. Hey, Hajime, can you do me a small favor?
Is a small favor taking the punishment for you?
Favor? Me?
I want you to prove to them that I'm the traitor.
No, I refuse. That is the one process I can actually...
What? What are you saying? Why do I have to do that?
Because you're the main protagonist, Hajime. And we all know that the main protagonist has to do all the shit in the game.
I want to explain everything to you guys, but as I expected, that's rather difficult. That's why the only thing I can do is plead with you.
No.
I want you to do it. I believe you can prove it.
No.
Whether I can prove it or not, that's not the problem.
No.
Don't you understand? You may as well be asking me to kill you.
No. No.
There's no way I can do that.
No.
I'm very sorry, but this is the only way. So please.
This hurts me so much.
Looks like we gotta do what we can. It's not like I believe she's the traitor. There's just no way we can ignore this without confirming it.
If she was just disguised or something, this would have been a heck of a lot easier for us to understand, but...
I don't care really much.
She's not disguised at all. 'Cause Chiaki isn't the traitor.
Monami, stop making stuff harder.
Monami?
Too bad. I'm not part of the same group as that girl. I don't know anything about that girl at all.
Hey, are you trying to cover for her like that? You suck!
I've always been alone. I have no friends anywhere.
Well, we can kind of tell that by how you interact with her.
That's why I have no relation to Chiaki whatsoever.
Hajime, you're going to listen to my request, right?
Whatever your choice. Damn it.
Chiaki isn't my friend. I hate Chiaki so much.
Oh man, I want you to die more now, Monami. Monami and Chucky's relationship proving it here is the only way. Not that good, really. Of course it's done.
Hajime, you stupid face! Let's all get along. I won't let you. Let's all get along. First open and mix. I can't lose. Hajime, you stupid face. I won't let you.
Yeah, I hate the panic talk fucking shit. Why did they have to...
We will never give up!
Why did they have to flip it up there this shit once more? They just made this so it's more vivid agony.
Hajime, you stupid face! Let's all get along. I won't let you. Let's all get along. First open and mix. I can't lose. Hajime, you stupid face. I won't let you. First open and mix. I'll lower your grade. Disappear. Hajime, you stupid face. Let's all get along. Chiaki and I aren't best friends.
This is the end!
Sorry. I'm not sorry about Monami, I fucking hate Monami. I'm so sorry that I have
When we investigated Nagito's cottage, I discovered a notebook with a new Sami logo on it. That's your notebook, right? The one Nagito stole from you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't tell me. Is that where the traitor's true identity is written?
That's right! Since I knew something like this would happen, I made sure to bring it here today.
So sudden?
I can't I couldn't have done that.
Give me that notebook!
So when I was able to talk everyone for the first time today, I could have showed different things going on. But they did. Yaki is the leader. A lot of things happen to her, so everyone's stuck.
What is this? Is this Monami's diary?
Is the traitor's identity written in here?
Nagito was probably looking for that too. So that might be why he stole the notebook. But you wouldn't know who the traitor is just by reading this notebook. Of course, Nagito wouldn't know either. However, it's different for me.
You know?
It took me this long, but I finally understand.
Well, the truth is, I might have already known the moment I found this notebook. It's just, I wanted to turn my eyes from the truth it contained. Yes, this is how my mind is working at this moment in time. I just didn't want to shake it, right? Anymore. You know, I clearly know. I can't help but now.
First of all, this isn't Monami's diary. Apparently she can't write.
Then the one who wrote this is...
Someone connected to Monami. Meaning, it's not a mistake to think that the traitor wrote it.
If so, is this like a report that the traitor was sending to Monami?
Is it evidence that they were observing our actions and reporting to Monami?
But how would you know who the traitor is from that?
Because there's an entry written in here that only me and one other person would know.
Topic was just that. In the entry.
In the notebook, there was a specific entry.
Day 16. We've been in the phone house for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. How did I try to go into the final bedroom today? He's probably panicking because no one believes him.
There it is. It's true. I tried to go inside the final dead room, but the only one who knew that.
I messed up, but the one I don't want to die. When the light hit me there, I'll be able to get to the octagon place, right? That's what the exit should be. I did that, finally did that, finally figured out what the exit is. I can get out, with this fucking finally get out. You can't go in there, you won't find what you're looking for. Please,
that's right. The only person who knew that is Chiaki.
It's the one who... My brain's just
That's why Chiaki is the only person who could have possibly written about this.
Why is it the ultimate gamer as a flipping stuff? Like, even the ultimate talent as well, but the best one.
There must be some mistake. I mean, if Chiaki is the traitor, what was all that time we spent with her?
Great.
Was that all a lie too?
Miss Sonia.
Chiaki she is being controlled by Monokuma. That is why we should help her.
I'm not satisfied either.
She's not being controlled.
I mean, if you were the traitor, there's no way you'd do something so stupid when we found the bomb.
Seems stupid to be frightened over something like this. And so, with an annoyed expression on her face, Chiaki walked over to the bomb without saying a word. Took her handbook out of her pocket, and without hesitation swiped the card. It's like it was wrong.
Now that you mention it, Chiaki immediately went to the card reader with her handbook.
She tested it out right away after being told it would only react to the traitor's handbook.
That doesn't make any sense. A traitor would be more cautious than that.
Except for Chiaki wants to help us all the time.
Chiaki probably knew the bomb was a fake. That's why she also knew Nagito's trap was a bluff.
She knew? That is a mistake! That must be a mistake! Why are you saying such things? Do you really want Chiaki to be the traitor?
I don't want to be the traitor, especially Chiaki.
Of course not!
I will not believe it! I refuse to believe Chiaki is a traitor!
I already did the panic talk action shit.
There is
do the same one.
just no way!
I don't want to do the same one. I don't want to believe it either. I want to believe it, but
then nobody will be saved!
Yep. Not arguing on my way. Am I making?
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, Didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not. The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it.
Unless you know a whole lot about bombs, there's no way you know if it's fake just by looking at it.
I don't have to think about. I have to move forward. I have to move forward to the path she's going.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not. The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it. Chiaki!
See ya.
He is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not.
Particularly use one of the bombs for the Danganronpa. Me told that.
The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it.
That's not it.
Guys, I like to think about that, you guys.
That's not it. Sonia shouldn't have been the only one who knew it was a fake. Monami was also there when you found out the bomb at the military base wasn't real. You said so yourself.
Is that true, Miss Sonia?
Chiaki heard about it from Monami. That's why she knew the bomb was a fake.
Since I've been found out, I'll just confess. The reason I couldn't tell anyone I knew the bomb was a fake was because if I had said that, I would have had to explain how I heard about it from Monami.
I do not want to hear that!
I don't want to hear it either, but still. It hurts more.
Enough already. Please do not say another word. I do not want this anymore. I am so very tired of doubting people.
Sonia.
And just because she knew the bomb was a fake does not mean we should decide she is the traitor! Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake. Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake. Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake.
She's panicking pretty badly. I wouldn't have enough words if I can't counter her right away. It might be best to wait for
Even
them.
if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake. Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake.
Why? Why is the scientist doing this?
Even if she knew the bomb was fake, that does not prove Chiaki is the traitor. If that counts as evidence, I should be doubted too. After all, I also knew the bomb was fake.
Knowing it was a fake isn't the problem. What matters is who told her. What matters is that she heard about it from Monami.
There was someone other than me and Monami who knew that bomb was fake. That someone is Monokuma. Monokuma said so earlier, correct? He knows everything about this island. Monokuma probably told Chiaki that it was fake beforehand. There was someone other than me and Monami who knew that bomb was fake. That someone is Monokuma. Monokuma said so earlier, correct? He knows everything about the Monokuma probably told Chiaki that it was fake beforehand.
I don't want to do this anymore.
You're right. Monokuma probably knew the bomb was a fake. But Monokuma shouldn't have told anyone either.
Then where did Nagito return the bomb? I wonder if I'm gonna give you a guy's hint. Then you should know it wasn't from the military base. Tell you the truth, the bombs were they are all fakes. I know that already. You should have said so earlier. I thought if I kept quiet, it would foreshadow the killing was going to happen. That's why I'm just now telling you for the first time. You know, feel really.
That Monokuma may have just been lying.
It's Monokuma, he's always truthful.
No, he won't lie at times like this. You already know that.
He's so truthful that I'm sad that he's that truthful.
Hajime, are you going to believe Monokuma over Chiaki?
I believe Chiaki over Monokuma, really.
That's not it.
It's just, even if Chiaki is the traitor, is it really okay to vote for her? That basically just means we have to believe in Nagito's luck, right?
She's the ultimate lucky student for a reason.
That's not it.
Are you telling us to trust his luck? Are you telling us to entrust our lives to that bastard?
I'm not telling you the flipping Nagito, I'm just saying the flipping and listen to Chiaki and get this over and done with so I'm in less pain.
There's no way I can believe in Nagito.
Just actually.
I'm telling you that's not it. We shouldn't believe in Monokuma or Nagito. We have to believe in Chiaki.
Huh?
It doesn't matter who the traitor is. Even if Chiaki is the traitor, that's not the Chiaki I know. I believe in the Chiaki who's been with us this whole time. That Chiaki is saying she wants to protect us with her life. So the only thing we can do is believe her. If we don't, nobody's going to be saved.
Damn it.
Hey, can you listen to me a little? There's nothing to be sad about, you know? 'Cause this is different from what happened before. Unlike before, you guys don't have to stay alive by doubting someone. You guys can stay alive by believing in me.
Are you telling us to believe in you and sacrifice you? That is just too cruel.
It hurts me.
I'm sorry.
Chiaki!
Monami, I'm sorry too. You're probably gonna get scolded by a lot of different people for this. But still, I want to protect everyone by any means. And I'm happy that I'm able to do that.
It's not up to me to decide whether that's right or wrong. However, I believe it's truly amazing that you were able to think like that. We could even call this a miracle.
It's not a miracle, Jack is leaving.
Hey, what have you two been talking about? Everyone's jaws are dropping, you know?
I know. It's voting time, right?
Hey, Chiaki.
You don't have to worry. Believe in me, and cast your vote.
Believe in the heart of the gods.
Damn it!
Why did it end up like this?
Because you didn't put enough faith in your flipping cards. The truth is it was bugged. Yeah. I don't even care what score I get for this one. I prefer to have just never done this trial to begin with. It's not fair. I feel the same as everyone else. There's no way I can agree to this. Emptiness, loneliness, sadness. And most of all, I'm ashamed of my weakness. But even so, I have to move forward. If we believe in the person who is urging us forward, we have to start walking. I believe with as much hope as possible in the light ahead. Why? No.
Even so.
The result, you are still the best character in this game. Suicide, yeah, just looking nothing. Man, I'm pooped. Let's go ahead and announce the results. The traitor from the Future Foundation and Nagito Kameda's killer is... Kazuichi Soda. What? Yeah, Kazuichi Soda.
Damn it!
Are you serious? That was correct. The fact that Jackie was a traitor, the fact that Nagito is crying dependent entirely on his luck. Everything was true.
Damn it!
Plus that means that's total stuff.
Congratulations, everyone.
That congratulate us. You're going to leave it.
Damn it!
You people are not celebrated and get off.
Damn it!
Jackie, let me ask you one more time. Are you really part of the Future Foundation? And the agent of the organization that brought us to this island, is that really your true identity?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you guys.
What?
That is...
I cannot believe it. Even though I do not want to believe it. There's no choice but to believe it.
I'm sorry.
It would have been better if I could have said it sooner, but I couldn't say it, no matter what. Because I can't betray the Future Foundation. Can't betray?
Well?
Even if you want to fly, you can't, right? Even if you want to swim where you please, you can't, right? It's the same for me. Due to the nature of my existence, I will never be able to betray the Future Foundation. What the heck? But in the end, you did something similar. What you did is no different than sharing your secret yourself. You're right.
Why?
Now's not the time to be laughing.
Well?
God. But strangely enough, I don't have any regrets. In fact, I'm somewhat happy. I was able to think I wanted to protect everyone. That's why I feel proud of my actions. So sad. Still the same thing. You don't get, but if we ask you something, you're just gonna answer, right? Like if we ask why you were in the Future Foundation and stuff.
I'm sorry.
That is...
Even if you were a traitor, you never betrayed us. Jackie, you will always be our friend, even now. We don't blame you for this. That's why you don't need to apologize.
Yeah.
The traitor was revealed and Jackie lost, and in the end, it all went according to my fucking plan. Why did I try to kill the best character in this game? I was jealous, yeah, that I was jealous that he wasn't the best character in the game. Yeah. Was that really Nagato's goal? Is it really okay to say he was trying to find the killer and eliminate him? So isn't it strange?
So,
I mean, we nearly lost, right? And if Chucky hadn't said anything, we definitely would have lost. You're raising a good point. That's exactly it. Even Nagata said he would weed out the traitor. He never said he would kill the traitor. Huh?
Yes, indeed!
Congratulations, you succeeded. You successfully stopped Nagato's plan. He wanted to kill us all and have the traitor escape. I mean, Nagato's plan was to reveal the traitor. And kill everyone else besides the traitor.
Huh?
Kill everyone else besides the traitor?
Are you serious?
Huh?
How much more messed up can Nagato get? Why would he do something like that? Before the former plan that only the traitor would survive. It's not really that twisted.
Nope.
It's okay. Okay.
Well?
I mean, it's not just Nagato's fault. If the circumstances had been different, he probably wouldn't have taken things so far.
Chucky!
You really are a kind-hearted person, man. You think so? Really? Really? You really think so? I play Call of Duty for a living. I don't think of a kind-hearted person. You know, I wonder where you got your personality from.
Perhaps.
Maybe our dad, big brother, don't you think?
Hey! Come on now!
Don't talk about your family all of a sudden. That's totally ripping off Dad.
I can't lose!
I cannot lose to Jackie. Just like Jackie and everyone else, even if I know it's a fight I cannot win.
Hi-ya!
I'm gonna try to retaliate.
Huh?
Yeah, retaliate.
I will no longer let you do as you please!
If you don't stop, dude.
Stupid! Stop! What are you doing?
As they say, we shall die together!
Yep, you did it. She's self-destructive. What did you do?
what'd you say?
What's going on?
Huh?
I feel like
No!
I'm not dead. Yeah, a new one flipping came out. Yeah, man, that surprised me. If only I didn't have a spell, I would have died.
I can't lose!
I'm not dead yet. What? Yeah.
If I don't beat you, nobody can live in peace!
Stop it, I say! I'm sorry! I lose! Forgive me!
My humor just knows that she's not what it is. Like at this point. Hey, no. Seriously, stop it. If you don't stop right now, it's all going to be
I won't forgive you!
Of course I'm doing it so you'll all be destroyed. I will be the one to protect my
I won't let you!
I'll protect them with my life.
Hey!
Now then, how many of you are still there and unite as well? Or at once?
Ooh,
And how many? Not that much. Just around 10 to 60. No, what did you say?
What?
1 million? Oh. No, it's 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion, 1 quadrillion. Jump ahead, 10. And then that's around, so 10, that's 10 to the 60th power.
Hey!
After all of this, you're still joking around. You sure have quite a daring spirit.
Too bad!
Except I'm not joking. And what are you even saying anymore? Didn't you see that scene? The factory. While you're doing this, my clones are continually and endlessly created in a Monokuma manufacturing factory. It's not the torture factory.
That's wrong!
Well, those are just stuffed animals. That's right. I checked them with my own hands. They're just fluffy.
Damn it!
You're just bluffing. Mind me finish him off.
Hey,
Even if it's just a plush, as long as you give it Monokuma's personality, it becomes a fully developed Monokuma. What did he say? There's no way that's possible. That's not even magic. Magic,
Could it be?
have you obtained that much power?
Hey!
Oh, there. If you bring up magic so suddenly, you're gonna be so confused. Look, I'm trying to figure out what the... Why? Making me magic is a technological thing. We don't understand this at all.
Hey!
Look, what's going on? Don't tell me you're not gonna call this magic or something. I don't care how you interpret it.
In the end, even if Monami risks her life or does whatever, it doesn't matter to my army of 10 to the power of 60 strong! There's no value in that life you're risking!
I want to see if there's a Monica in the Battle Royale. I just don't know why.
So how about this? This overwhelming despair! Does it make you dizzy from excitement?
That's what I'll be saying. I think we're just like that. Monica in the really Which is great.
What's this?
And how many enemies are left to challenge my army of 10 to the power of 6 to the 60th power? You don't have to say anything. Let's see, you have about 10 more left, right? I know everything. I am the conqueror of the new world.
I can't lose!
I won't give up even if I have no chance of winning, guys.
It's okay, Monami.
No. Here's the Chucky Red. Let Monami flipping die a billion times before like that. It's not about giving up, you know.
Let's believe in them.
No. Let's believe in everyone. Leave the rest to them. No.
Right?
Damn it.
Damn it.
What the hell is going on? I do not know for certain, but the only thing I can say
Please
is
listen!
Monokuma is an enemy of the Future Foundation.
Like...
That means that there's another organism that's our enemy besides the Future Foundation.
This is bad!
We're in a situation because we're caught a dispute between these two organizations. Okay, yeah, that's it. Let's just leave that talk for that later. Because the punishment time's gonna start. Hold on, just a little more. Just a little more time to wait or not to wait. That is the question. But which will cause more despair? That's the real question. Will if you think about it, you'd know, right? There's no way I'd wait. Look, I haven't.
I'm sorry.
I can't. No. There's nothing else I can say. I'm not allowed to say anything more than I already have. Not that I.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment
for Chucky and I have the ultimate gift. No, the ultimate
special bleeding service.
For Monami too.
Huh?
Why are you reminding me? It's just a 2-for-1 special. I could have killed that thing as many times as I want to. She's not a student, and so I don't need anybody that will fire me anymore. So I remember that.
Sorry.
I'm an only child.
That is...
What is that? It's okay. Even if I'm here, I'd just be a burden anyway, and not just that. I'd like to believe in everyone.
You
I don't like
guys.
that.
I'm sorry about so many things.
No,
I'm sorry for lying to you.
just get to the punishment.
I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you to the very end.
Just get to the punishment so I don't have to feel pain.
Just one last time. Let me say something that makes me...
No.
There's no need to be a hero when you do that.
No.
But still,
No.
even if because... If
No.
you...
Fed up.
Bye, everyone. It's okay. A shining future will always be waiting for you.
And more shining despair will be waiting for me the second this trial. This flipping punishment
It's
begins.
true. It's absolutely true.
Just like a space invaders
Because I know.
Bye-bye. Please don't forget about your teacher.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Punishment time. I don't like punishment time. You too, man, mate. This hurts, mate. Of course, he's still speculating. It's obvious, he's still speculating. Poison base. Wow. Person wait. Ah, no, cross is off. Can't wait with my home base. I know, we're getting a bit now. I know, don't take this. I mean, I just gotta be careful. You're gonna lose the last one to get him. I know. I fucking know it. You're gonna lose the last one to get him. Yep. Right, think I like it. I don't even try anymore. How do I try? This has made me sad. Even until the very end, I couldn't look away from Jackie's final message. Without realizing it, I had fallen to my knees. A feeling of powerlessness spread throughout my body. It's over. It just had to end. Before I could ask what I needed to ask, before I could say what I needed to say. Chucky vanished before my eyes. I couldn't even tell her thank you. If I had said that, would she have been comforted a little? As she was executed as the traitor, would she have even comforted? Would she have been comforted a little? I don't know. My chest just hurt.
I don't believe it!
Great, that was such a big surprise. As for Chucky, she regularly took on the role of point man during the class trial as did Nagito's. And not only was she the traitor, she was Nagito's killer too.
Phew!
That hurts me more. Oh well, don't worry about it. There won't be any more situations where you'll need to rely on them.
Huh?
Hey, does that mean? Now that the annoying rabbit is gone as well, all of the obstacles have been keeping us stuck up in this island are completely gone.
Hey!
Are you serious? We can really decide?
I shall now present.
Yes, congratulations. With this, I shall announce the end of the school killings. The killing school trip, I mean. Sorry, I was getting too close. I remember the first game, now that game was less heartbreaking. For you five who survived up until now, I shall give you the right to graduate. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. Are you really okay with it? What do you mean? But there are still 2 days left. If you were acting like you yourself, you would have held things up so another couldn't happen right away. You're right. Stop it, why are you saying? Why am I going to change his mind? Also, you said you five, like you were emphasizing that part. Does that mean the number of people matter more than the remaining time? That's why you're saying it's the end already, even though there are still 2 days left, right? Well, here's an imagine only takes place every fucking 4 days in this game because they just don't like me. Imagine that there are 5 people left. A planet to keep a vital. No. You need 6 people for vital. Don't stay quiet, say something. What's your actual purpose? You're an enemy and our enemy of and an enemy of the Future Foundation, so what's your true identity? The Future Foundation is the world's ender. They'll end the new then I will end the new world that the Future Foundation has created.
No!
Well, you'll just have to look forward to the rest after the countdown ends. That time has almost reached 0. If it reaches 0, everything will end. The Future Foundation's main plan will be nothing but toilet bubbles.
Hey,
And then that time comes, and when that time comes, you'll know everything. You'll see all of your questions answered in one go. And then you guys will find out for yourselves just how messed up this new world is.
Hey!
A new world. I'm just saying some new shit all out and all of a sudden. Well, just think of the remaining 2 days until countdown reaches 0 as a bonus. While you're at it, you should enjoy your lives on this tropical island to the fullest. Because once you leave this island, your hopeless lives back home will be waiting for you. This is fake enjoyment. Manakuma's boisterous laugh carried on for what felt like forever. Our questions, our worries, our sadness were simply ignored. The laughter just kept going forever. As for what we did afterwards, honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And yes, I did go with the Manakumas. And you forget the other 3 that I missed. I returned to my cottage for the time being. I fell asleep. Even after I woke up, my will to move my body didn't come back. That's why I didn't look back on everything that. That's why I didn't look back on everything that happened up till now. I didn't think about what was going to happen. I just kept praying that nothing else would happen. And burrowed deep into my sheets as if I was trying to hide. And in doing so, I was somehow trying to enjoy the long day. And then the sun finally set. Day feels abnormally long when you spend it praying that nothing happens. Which reminds me, I haven't heard my team's announcement. I guess that isn't needed anymore. Is everything really good, and what is everything anyway? How much is everything? If we leave this island, is everything going to end? There's still so much we don't know. About our school memories, the future foundation, Husband Academy, Monikuma's true purpose. Can we really end this and turn our backs on all that? And not just that. If we're really leaving, then where are we going? Husband Academy? Don't know. That was my last night at Dub Rock Island. A place where my worries didn't even matter. Everything was about to end. I feel like I had a fun dream somehow. I think it was about my childhood. Because of that, I was able to face the day with a somewhat happier feeling than usual. That's right, it's the last day. According to my Kuma. Suddenly my body shuddered. Right when I opened my eyes, I was gripped by a fear that I had never felt before. I feel like I had been abandoned in this world, completely, utterly alone, with nobody left on this island. Kazuchi, Fuyuhiko, Akane, Sonia, like everyone was gone and I couldn't find them anywhere. I say couldn't believe in anything. Like everything in this world just damn it. I wish that my cottage desperately to escape that fear. I wish that the cottage desperately to escape that fear. I wish that the cottage desperately to escape that fear. I wish that the cottage desperately to escape that fear. I just the game broke. Without Chiaki, no one wants to play it anymore, so the servers are breaking. When I left the cottage, I randomly ran into
Hello
her.
there.
How did we get away? It's good morning, what? What's it?
See?
That we found out we actually, when we were doing the bond opening. I've heard you don't hurt me more to that it. Bond was just what that.
Well?
Apparently that was more than what's inside that laptop.
Yep.
We weren't able to see it until I passed time it was locked by time. We just say like we wouldn't be able to watch it after we passed out. We could do that.
Perhaps.
And then I had time to leave this as a world. Why is it like that? We were just trying to meet at the restaurant and watch together. And so that started the restaurant. I'm very sure Jackie was down there, right? Can't deal with this anymore. I'm ending this flipper video. Anything. Goodbye. Until I come out of my despair-filled mood, I will make another video when that happens.